Good day, sir. This day I'm going to report about the school head and school-based management. What is school-based management? School-based management is a decentralized management initiative by developing power or authority to school heads, teachers, parents, and students. SBM is a strategy to improve education by transferring significant decision-making authority from the DepEd Central Office, regional offices, division offices, to individual schools. So, the essential purpose of redistributing decision-making authority to increase the autonomy of the critical stakeholders is to improve the instructional process and although rarely stated student outcomes. SBM is frequently advocated on the grounds of school site personnel. SBM provides principals, teachers, students, and parents greater control over the education process by giving them responsibility for decisions about the budget, personnel, and the curriculum. Through the involvement of teachers, parents, and other community members in these key decisions, SBM can create a more effective learning environment for children. So, through the collaboration of parents, school heads, and teachers, SBM will create effective learning environment for the learners or the students. SBM and the Principle of Subsidiarity. SBM is in keeping with the principle of subsidiarity, which states that it is the people at the lowest level who will know best their problems and so are in the best position to address the same. This tenet holds that nothing should be done by the larger and more complex organization, which can be done as well by a smaller and simpler organization. Subsidiarity, meaning, is an organizing principle that matters ought to be handled by the smallest to lowest or least centralized competent authority. So, according to the reference, lowest level who will know the best their problems and so are in the best position to address the same. So, in my perception, in school based management, um, we should include the parents. It because the parents, uh, the parents is the first and the only thing that really know their children. So they have the great impact on collaborating teachers and school heads and SBM. Advantages of SBM: allow competent individuals in the schools to make decisions that will improve learning, give the entire school community a voice in key decisions, focus accountability for decisions, led to greater creativity in the design of programs, redirect resources to support the goals developed in each school, led to realistic budgeting as parents and teachers become more aware of the school's financial status, spending limitation, and the cost of its programs, and improve morale of teachers and nurture new leadership at all levels. So, as we can observe the advantages of SBM, the teacher, the school heads, and the parents are in touch with each other. So, meaning they need to communicate or they need to connect to each other so that the children can obtain a greater outcomes in the end of the year. It is because that um, the the parents play a vast role of the future of their children. Then they need to update, they need to support so that um, the progress will take place, and also by the guidance of the teacher and the school heads, um, the learners or the childrens are are obliged to do what is asked. As regards the weaknesses of SBM includes the poor enactment of transparency and low value of support mechanism. So we cannot deny the fact that although we're just in elementary, we can observe that our parents attend PTA meeting and emergency meeting. It's because the parents should know what the activities and the programs of the school proclaim. It is the obligation of the parents to support their child. It's either financial or in emotional, or even knowing what is the responsibilities. Through SBM, decision-making authority is developed to school heads, teachers, parents, and students. This is school empowerment. This reduces bureaucratic controls on schools and encourage school heads, teachers, and parents to use greater initiative in meeting the needs of students and community. Involving stakeholders, parents, teachers, and students, and other members of the community is also helpful in mobilization of the local resources to complement public resources. Through SBM, problems and needs at the school level get solved faster, and specific personalities and cultures are taken into consideration. And SBM, schools take the responsibility to plan and implement their school improvement plans, or SIP. Since schools are given more power to direct themselves, they are made accountable for results. SBM makes schools accountable to the stakeholders. Legal basis of SBM. The Philippine Constitution provides that Congress shall enact a local government code that will institutionalize a system of decentralization, Article number 10, Sec number 3, whereby local government units shall be extended more power authority. The Local Government Code in 1991 is a fulfillment of this constitutional provision. This means that long before, the Department of Education DepEd legally introduced decentralization in school through school-based management, or SBM, in 2001 through the enactment of RA 9155. Local government units were already empowered for local governance. RA 9155 Basic Governance Act transfers the power and authority as well as the resources to the school level. School empowerment is based on the assumption that the school heads, including teachers, K leaders, and the community, parents, know best the root and the solution of the problem. Parents' participation in school management has been promoted as a strategy for holding schools accountable for education quality and outcomes. First, it improves curriculum, instruction, and school environment. Second, it improves school community relations, and third, it results in community development. The teacher must constantly develop classroom plans according to the needs of his students. Teachers shall also participate in the planning of SBM, help in initiating, implementing, monitoring, and mobilizing the community. School-based management decentralized control from the central district office to individual schools as a way to give school constituents, principals, teachers, parents, and community members more control over what happens in schools. Often, SBM is adapted for the purpose of school improvement. Conditions for the success of SBM. Teachers, school heads must be given the opportunity to make choices. They must actively participate in school improvement planning. The involvement of parents and teachers must be strongly encouraged and highly welcome. So, if there's the parents who wants to give their perception or idea or thought, so the council must welcome with this. Stakeholders must be participate in the development of school improvement plan. They must have a say on resource allocation to meet specific needs. Higher authorities must actively encourage thoughtful experimentation and innovation in an atmosphere where mistakes are viewed as learning experiences. They must be willing to share their authority with the academic and the larger community. Teachers must develop reflection and problem solving. Based on the international experience, the following must be present for SBM to succeed in schools: have basic resources, have developed an effective school support system, are provided with regular information on their performance, are given advice on how they may improve, and emphasize the motivational element and the management work of the principal. So, a research conducted in Minahasa that the implementation of SBM has a positive impact on improving school management, more more transparent, participatory, democratic, and accountable, and increased community participation in education. But we must always take note that the success of SBM very much depends on the school head. Thank you, and this report will be continued by Mr. Androfoy Lusan.